What's going on, everyone? So I did a video diving into the recent news and reports that keep popping up that the Lakers and the Wizards most likely are the teams that are probably going to get a deal done at some point. That there is expectation of talks to keep being engaged, keep kind of ramping up. Lakers and Washington have had multiple trades over the years. They have a good rapport with each other. So kind of makes sense that, hey, you kind of go and default to the teams that you're familiar with. You usually go and default to the teams that you've had, trade success in the past with and stuff like that. Also, Jake Weinbach even said that the Lakers and Wizards are expected to engage in consistent trade dialogue over the next couple of weeks, while multiple players and frameworks could be discussed. One developing trade idea would send Malcolm Brogdon and Jonas Valanciunas to the Lakers. So that's what I want to talk about specifically. In that other Washington video, I kind of talked about, generically, the three players that the Lakers have been linked to: Jonas Valanciunas, Malcolm Brogdon, as well as Kyle Kuzma. Talked about even maybe potentially, do the Lakers just try to get all three and just kind of one swoop, get it all done? Washington has to waive a couple players or something like that. They're not going to care. They'll do it. Or if you have to get a third team involved, that's like, hey, we'll just take Jalen Hood-Schifino for free, or a Maxwell Lewis or something for free, or whatever. Or, hey, we'll give up 2 seconds to Washington if they take this guy and give us D'Lo. The little nuances very likely could get worked out and figured out. We'll see how that goes. But specifically with Malcolm Brogdon, talked about Malcolm Brogdon in the past, but again, we keep getting these talks now leaning towards Malcolm Brogdon. Now, again, Lakers have been linked to Kyle Kuzma, and there have even been talks about Lakers kind of being the front runner. But to me, that's more of just he's linked. He was a Laker, right? He's a former Laker, right? So you see it. We've heard several guys. The Lakers are front runners, or leading the betting polls for this guy to land with Brandon Ingram was another one, right? Front runner doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get traded there. But Malcolm Brogdon keeps getting brought up. We got reports literally a couple days ago that were the Lakers have at least called and inquired about Malcolm Brogdon and what would it take to go and acquire him. So Lakers clearly have some interest in Malcolm Brogdon. They've had interest in Malcolm Brogdon in the past. He's making $22.5 million. So you could get there, D'Lo and Jalen Hood-Schifino, and then I think you'd have to throw in a vet minimum guy or something like that. Essentially get you there. Remember, Lakers got to send out more money than they take back, but you'd clear off a couple roster spots. Also, Malcolm Brogdon is expiring, which means if it works, great. You can sign him to a new deal, right? He's 32, so you're probably not paying him a ton of money long-term wise, and his health is a real concern. But we're going to touch on that here in a moment. But you could, maybe sign him to 3 years, $40 million or something like that, or 3 years, $45 million, right? Where he's making, $12 to $15 million a year, somewhere in that range. If you could get him cheaper, say a mid-level exception or something, right? Gabe Vincent's money, $11 million a year. If you could do something like that, great, perfect. I don't think he'd get much more than that. But Malcolm Brogdon he is the prototype that the Lakers desperately need. Sizable guard that is legit 3-and-D, the Derek White, Drew Holiday type guy. 6'4" in size, he's 230, right? Could play either guard spot, but he's a guy that can be that initiator. Usually, he's basically a souped up, charged Gabe Vincent, right? He's what we want Gabe Vincent to be. But Malcolm Brogdon actually has, and can be that still when he's healthy. It's the problem is his health. So diving into it, you look at his whole career has been kind of all over the place. The most games he's ever played in a season was his rookie year, in which he played 75 games. Since then, he's played 48, 64, 54, 56, 36, 67, 39, and 11. If he could play the games that he played in Boston every year, 67 games, perfect. No biggie. Excellent acquisition, right? Or we'll even call it just 60. Right? If he could give us 60 games a season, that gives him 22 games a season to miss. If he could be there, 60 games a season, then I think he's worth it. Problem is, does he do what he did in Portland where he played 39? This season he's played 11 games. He's missed half the season already thus far for Washington. But how is he looking? So 24 minutes per game. He's averaging 10.4 attempts per game. He's averaging 48.2% from the floor. He is shooting only 36% from three-point range, which is the worst shooting percentage since his final year in Indiana back in 2021-2022. He is a career 39% three-point shooter. I'm not really concerned with the three-point shooting, if I'm being honest. I'm just not. I think he will. Again, he is a career 39% three-point shooter. You look at last season, he shot 41.2% on 5.1 attempts. He's shooting 36% on 2.5 attempts, right? He's going to be playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. His three-point shot will come back around, right? I'm not worried about it. Obviously, we don't know for certain. You don't know until you get in there. And look, we've seen plenty of instances where a guy is really good shooting the three ball, goes to the Lakers and just completely forgets. But I think Malcolm Brogdon will be fine, right? 32-year-old veteran, kind of been there, done that type thing. But again, 36% from three-point range. He is shooting 52.3% from two-point range on 7.8 attempts. He has an EFG of 52.6. Free throw percentage, 85%. And free throw percentage. This is also, you got to keep in mind, this is also a guy that is part of the 50-40-90 club. So he's a guy he's been an efficient scorer his whole career. That's always been his thing. He's a guy that can shoot the basketball, score the basketball. This season he's averaging 4 rebounds, 3 assists, half a steal, half a block, and 14 points. That'd be perfect. That would be fine, right? If he get the field goal percentage up, obviously, but if he could be a 15-4-4 guy with the Lakers, but be that legit sizable point of attack versatile guard, perfect. Right? That's everything that the Lakers need. Literally everything that the Lakers need. So Malcolm Brogdon makes a ton of sense. If you told me, hey, Tyler, Malcolm Brogdon's going to give you, if he gets traded to the Lakers, he'll give you, 50 games the rest of the season, so he'll play 61 games, right? Out of the rest of the season that's left, he'll give you 50 games. I would do it, right? Gauge it, see how it goes, because he is expiring, and the Lakers do need a guard, right? I still would prefer, because you still need to get a 3-and-D wing. So where else are you getting that 3-and-D wing? That's why I kind of like the idea of just get everybody, get a Brogdon, Kuzma, and Valanciunas all in one swoop. And then at the trade deadline, can you just kind of fill in the gaps a little bit here? Can you maybe go get a Cody Martin, maybe bring in a Torrey Craig or something like that? These guys that people aren't really thinking about, teams aren't really thinking about, right? Now you got your backup center, you got your point of attack guard, and you got your 3-and-D wing. Perfect, right? But to me, it's just if Malcolm Brogdon can stay healthy, be on the basketball court for us, and he could get his three-point shooting back up to even 38% from three-point range, that would be huge, right? That'd be massive for the Lakers. Give us that kind of, that Avery Bradley, George Hill type guy, that sizable guard that can defend. I mean, Avery Bradley and George Hill are 6'1", but he'd be bigger. But again, you look at what Derek White and Drew Holiday does for Boston. However you feel, whichever guys you think are better or whatever, Malcolm Brogdon is in that prototype. Right? And he was the premier guy for a long time. Right? The problem is just, again, his injury issues and his injury concerns. So, but he's a guy that gives you that size and just the different versatility, gives you that point of attack, can match up, again, essentially 1 through 5 or 1 through 4. Right? Guard the point guard, you can guard the 2 guard, you can guard the wing, you can guard because he can defend up. He could defend bigger with the wingspan. He's getting good savvy vet. He's 32, which is the wrong side of 30, but he's still in the prime years. Right? And that's why if you essentially cleared $11 million off your books in the offseason minimum, right? Because he's not getting anywhere near $22 million, right? Or $23 million almost. So to me, it's okay, you clear some salary in the offseason. if you get that guard or you get that guy, he can always just be your backup. And now you have him as your, like, that would be ideal. Right? Like, I don't hate the idea. He gives you everything you need. Right? But can you in the offseason also sign like a Bruce Brown? Imagine having like Bruce Brown and Malcolm Brogdon. That'd be tough. But in general, right? It's just, I don't hate it. You'd be getting Valanciunas in the deal, so you'd be getting a center and and your point of attack guard, right? You still got to go get a Wayne. So are you getting like a Dorian Finney-Smith? Are you getting like I say, it's got to be like, I like Cody Martin. I like the idea of Cody Martin, 6'6", sizable, slot in essentially 2 through 4 for you, but not as like your sole like 3. Right? Like, if you told me you got Malcolm Brogdon, Jonas Valanciunas, Cody Martin, and a Dorian Finney-Smith, all right, cool. Again, I'd have to wait and see if that's enough to put us over contention. I don't think it would be, but I also, again, Malcolm Brogdon can do some. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon's had years where he was 20 plus a night, right? Like, he's a guy that can score the basketball, shoot the basketball. Like, if he could be, like I said, 15 a night, like, consistently, and give you better consistency and shooting and all that. Like, I don't know. Like, again, I'd have to kind of see it put together and see how it looks. But I wouldn't be shocked if it does, if that is the thing that puts the Lakers over, right? Because you'd still have, like, Max Christie and, Austin Reeves and, Jared Vanderbilt potentially and guys like that, right? Like, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of Malcolm Brogdon? Do you dislike the idea of Malcolm Brogdon? Kind of mixed in the middle with Malcolm Brogdon. However you feel, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.